Hi everyone, good afternoon and welcome to my new moon broadcast here. And for those of you that have been following me regularly, you know that I do this on new moon and full moon days. I try and get you some information that I think will be beneficial in helping you get through this energy, navigating this energy. So I always like to ask how you're feeling, because I don't know, today I felt like this morning like I was in one of those dreams that, you know, you keep on running and running and you're not getting anywhere. Well, that's exactly the way I felt this morning. I felt like no matter what it was that I was doing, I just wasn't getting anywhere. So just be aware if you're feeling, you know, kind of scattered, that there's so much going on astrologically. In addition to this new moon, we've got 2 eclipses coming up in August. So again, some of that energy is beginning to be felt by all of us. So let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is SusanDintino, and I am a spiritual teacher. I'm an author. Hay House published Songs of My Life, Slightly Out of Tune. I've got a children's book out called A Year of Me, as well as a meditation CD, Butterfly Blessings. And if you'd like to know even more about me, please visit my website, which is SusanDintino. That's DINTINO.com. And you can find out all about my readings, all of the services that I have in addition to my products. I'm an avid meditator, and I've got some guided meditations on there that I think you'll find beneficial. So let's talk about this new moon. Okay, first of all, this new moon is in the sign of Leo. So Leo is all about being the center of attention. We always think about Leo with those gorgeous heads of hair, their flowing mane, and often they're roaring to get attention. And with Mars playing a huge part in this new moon energy, we're really almost feeling like a warlike attitude rather, towards what it is that we would like to be doing and what it is that we would like to create. So again, like I said, if you're feeling fired up and feeling like you really want to do what you want to do as quickly as possible, know that this new moon is contributing to that feeling. Leo is a fire sign. It's a fixed sign. So again, that fire is going to be coming into play in the energy that we're experiencing right now. And Uranus is also playing a role in this, and Uranus is about change. So we've got these two, Mars, which is very, again, the war planet, very much pushing us in an aggressive manner, and Uranus, which is also really enticing us to change. So we've got these 2 planets playing a role. Now, strictly speaking, the new moon comes in tomorrow, the 23rd, at 5:45 a.m. Eastern time. So you can figure out exactly where that is in your time zone. But we're feeling the effects of it certainly now, usually 2 days before and 2 days after. With a new moon and a full moon, the energy is the most intense. So you're going to be feeling it today. What we like to think about with a new moon is setting new intentions. A new moon is the beginning of a 28-day cycle, which ends with the next new moon. So what I am going to really advise you to do to begin this broadcast is to do some writing with this new moon. It's a really good energy to set an intention. If you have any knowledge of your chart or can find out, it would be very beneficial for you to know where this new moon is falling in your astrological house. You know, what house is it in your chart? So right before we went on the air, I looked mine up, and mine is falling in my 5th house, which is all about creativity and really making things happen, which is really the way I'm feeling right now. Like, I really want to get going. I really want to get moving. So take advantage of this. Take some time in the next day or so, I would say as soon as possible, to sit down and do some journaling. Where is your life now? Where would you like to see your life be in 28 days? And this might not be the time to set some grandiose ideas, as far as 28 days is not a great amount of time. However, if there's a project you've been putting on the back burner, maybe this would be a great time to do step 1. and really set an intention. And I feel like when we put pen to paper, now I know many of you out there are much more at home doing things on your computer, your iPads, your smartphones, but to me when you write and put something on paper, it really does drive it home. So I'm going to suggest that be the first step in dealing with this energy. Sit down, do some journaling as to where you are and where you'd like to be in 28 days. I've got some writing that I have to do, and I've had other things going on in my life, so I haven't taken the time to do it. So what I would really be doing is writing the intention that in 28 days I am going to have something written, so that I'm going to be starting. No more procrastination. It's time to get started. So I would really love to see you do that. And if you want to take it a step further, what you can do is create an affirmation from this intention. So say, we'll use my example as I'm really getting involved with my writing project and moving forward with that. So I would say something like, in my intention, I am setting an intention that I will have at least 3 pages done in 28 days. And that's a rather conservative objective, but hey, I haven't written much lately, so it's better than nothing. So I decided that's what I'm going to do. Within 28 days, I am going to be having 3 pages written. So what I will do from that is create an intention. And an intention is a statement of fact. We go to the affirmation that we're creating now. And again, it's a statement of fact as if it's already occurred. So what I would do is I would look up the next new moon. Don't have it right in front of me, but in 28 days, I'm in gratitude, give it that gratitude punch that I have written 3 pages by, and then put the date in there. Or I am in gratitude that I have written 3 pages in 28 days. And then I'm going to put that everywhere where I could see it, principally on my computer. But when I first start my writing process, I always do it longhand. So I would probably jot it down and put that on my computer. Maybe I would type it and print it out or something. The most important thing is you're setting an intention where you want to see a result. And you'd want to see that result in 28 days. Because again, from new moon to new moon. With this energy that's going on, now these are about creative endeavors that we're looking to do. The Leo, becoming the center of attention, really allowing people to hear your roar. What's your roar? What is it that you would like to get out? And it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be a roar that you want heard in your own family. And speaking of that, this is a time now that with this energy that is a bit warlike and aggressive, you might find that your patience is very slim. Because of that, you might want to plan a few things, especially this weekend, where you're going to kind of utilize that energy in a positive way. It would be a great time to work out that aggression with maybe going on a nice power walk or maybe dancing. That's one of my favorite activities. Maybe get out and dancing. If you're feeling like you're this container holding all this fire and you're ready to explode, and people that used to just minorly disturb you are really getting you to the point of really getting, like telling them off or something like that. Use that aggression in a more positive way. Realize that that energy is going to be coming at you, and just utilize it in a way that's more positive. Again, if you're somebody who likes to work out and exercise, getting to the gym, or even doing a yoga, just a nice yoga routine. Again, getting in touch with that inner self in a positive way for us to utilize this energy. So that's the new moon in Leo. And as I said, really feeling the aggressive nature and understanding it. Don't feel that it's just something that you can't even imagine what's going on. And as we're starting to talk about these eclipses, the solar eclipse that is coming, I believe it's August 21st actually, August 21st, this is going to be the first time that we're going to be having a solar eclipse that's going to be visible across much of the United States since 1918. So there's been talk on Facebook and in different venues about the solar flares that are coming up. So there's also this whole idea that we're being bombarded with some of this energy that's coming in. And for those of you that are knowledgeable about this whole idea of moving from the third to the fifth dimension, where we're really physically being challenged, anything that we can do, any knowledge that we can have of what's going on astrologically and utilize it for our benefit to deal with this energy is going to be very beneficial. And again, if you're not familiar with this whole idea with the third going into the fifth dimension, I know enough about it to make myself dangerous, not enough to teach about it. So I would highly suggest you Google it and get some information, because it's really going to assist you in understanding what's going on and why you might be feeling the way you're feeling. So just realize that so much of what we might be attributing to our own idiosyncrasies really has a great deal to do with this new moon energy, with the impact that Mars has on it, in addition to Uranus, and with everything else that's going on with the solar flares and all of this energy that literally we're being bombarded with. So it's time to take a deep breath and just kind of let it go. And again, it is a good time, like in Olivia Newton-John, to get physical. Get physical and burn off that energy and just allow yourself to utilize it in a positive way, so you're not utilizing it in a way that might be detrimental to some people that, you'd rather not take quite a leap of maybe, writing that text, which I have started calling those types of text toxic texts. And I often find that when we're dealing with text, we say things in text that we would not say to a person's face. So if all of a sudden you're compelled to tell this person that you feel has done you wrong, everything that you want in a text, I would advise you to think, hey, maybe this is the new moon talking, maybe it's the planet Mars talking. I'm going to take a step back and maybe put on a favorite song and do some dancing. Many of my friends tease me about my Macarena expertise, so maybe get that and play the Macarena and just have fun by yourself and use that energy before you do anything you might regret later. So just a few tips here: writing an intention, doing some journaling, getting to the bottom of something that you would like to create. Time to put procrastination off. It's time for action. What is your roar? That's the question I'm going to leave with you today. What is your roar? How can you have your roar heard? Okay, so the crystal that I would like to recommend, and for those of you that tune in regularly know that I pick a crystal, and I'm going to suggest malachite. I think malachite would really be good now for you. It really assists you, especially when you're feeling emotionally exhausted. What it does is it balances the emotions, it increases positivity, just really a great stone to use. And it's green, and I know it's kind of reversed here, but it's so funny because when I was trying to decide what crystal to use and I was debating, this crystal actually practically jumped out of my drawer, and I go, oh my gosh, that's my malachite, because I'm telling you, I am really feeling this energy. So I'm really feeling like I need it. Remember, again, with this type of crystal, if it resonates with you, it's right for you. If it doesn't, that's okay. This is a recommendation, what I thought might be beneficial. So just keep that in mind. I always say that you're your best judge. So that's malachite. The essential oil I'm going to recommend is cypress. And this is an oil that's very grounding. And I think, again, with being hit with all of this different energy, it will really help to really make sure that you're grounded. Now, what do we mean by grounding? Well, there's a theory that our energetic body needs to be grounded. When I personally ground, I visualize two roots growing out of the bottom of my feet. And these roots I visualize going deep into Mother Earth. And I've actually created a crystal palace at the center of Mother Earth, visualized it. And there's a huge quartz crystal in front of that palace. And I wrap my roots around those that crystal energy, I'll pull that up and I'll ground. Sometimes I'll actually go outside and do this, but what we're doing is we're really giving our energy the opportunity to ground with Mother Earth's energy. If you're feeling flighty, if you're feeling like otherworldly, again, with this energy, it could happen. Grounding is very important. So something like cypress is really going to help you to get that energy. Just again, the essential oil, just waving it in front of your nose and seeing how you feel. When you're shopping for an essential oil, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating, your nose knows. So if you wave cypress in front of you and it's not something that resonates with you, then select something that does. My go-to essence is lavender. Whenever I'm just not sure what I want, I'll go to lavender. Lavender helps calm me. Lavender just, it's wonderful if you have sleep issues. Lavender is just a great essential oil. But if you're shopping and looking for something that's going to help you right now, I really was very guided to recommend cypress. Now the flower, my daughter gifted me with some flowers, and I'm using Robert Reeves' book, Flower Therapy, and the flower I'm going to recommend is gladiolus. And gladiolus is a great flower for raising your energy, increasing happiness, removing grief, and it's just so beautiful. I'm a big stargazer lily fan, so most of the time when I'm buying myself flowers, I buy the stargazer lily. But like I said, my daughter surprised me with a beautiful bouquet yesterday, and these were in there, and I thought, wow. And especially the whole idea of grief. We'll often see these flowers in funeral displays. So see, maybe people don't even know why they're using them, but it definitely is because it does assist you in grief. So right now, as you're going through the changes and the transitions, gladiolus is a flower that I'm recommending. Just keep in mind too the benefit of having fresh flowers in your home. And again, whatever flowers resonate with you, white roses are beautiful for clearing energy. I love the aroma of the stargazer lily, so that's why I love to have that in the house. But I think no matter what you choose, sunflowers, just looking at a sunflower makes you happy. When you're feeling this energy, chaos, and so many things right now are chaotic, energetically speaking, flowers will help ground you, and they'll just remind you, to me, that you're worth it. So I strongly suggest having fresh flowers around you whenever possible. It was interesting because I had just thrown mine out and my daughter surprised me with these. So highly suggest having fresh flowers. Really will assist you get through this. And the angel that I am picking for today is Archangel Raphael. Because I feel with this crazy energy, we needed to be reminded to breathe. How many of us hold our breath? We're anxious, we're frustrated, might be a little bit aggravated. Watch how you're breathing. Make sure you're taking breath breaks, reminding yourself to breathe. Archangel Raphael is all about healing. The color associated with him is emerald green. He's a wonderful angel to work with if you're going to have surgery, if you're going to be doing anything medically. He's a great angel to call, and he works with doctors. And I've been using him quite a bit. Been very drawn to him, so I'm going to recommend Archangel Raphael and that you call on him for some healing. Okay, so we'll recap everything for those of you that might have joined a little bit late. This will be up on my YouTube station with these recommendations for the new moon if you want to Yeah, there must be something going on the internet, so you might have had a brief pause there, but happily I'm back. And also, if you get a mini reading during this broadcast and you want to re-listen to it or whatever, just take a look at my YouTube station, which is my name, SusanDintino, and I will post it under here so you've got it and you can take a look. So that's Archangel Raphael. The deck that I'm going to be working with to be pulling cards for everybody today is my butterfly deck. This is by Doreen and virtue, and this is butterfly messages. And because we're talking so much about transformation, we're talking about these astrological events going on, getting prepared energetically for the eclipses, working with the new moon energy, with Uranus. I don't even want to talk about Mercury going retrograde. All of these things going on. I thought it would be fun to recognize our butterfly friends and the reminder that they have of the beauty that no matter how much of a caterpillar that we might feel like right now, ultimately we are going to be coming out of that stage and stretching our beautiful wings and taking flight. So that's what I'm going to be doing. If you have a question for a mini reading, please feel free to post it. I'm going to scroll through, and I do my best to get to as many of you as possible. Just keep in mind that if I don't get to you and I'm reading somebody else and you think, wow, that could have been my question answered, it was. So just know that. So let's just see what we've got going. Okay, so we're going to start with Carol, and she's saying, can you tell me anything about family relationships? Thank you so much. So let's see what we pull here, what butterfly card we pull for you. Just a reminder that the card does, you know, appear backwards when it comes up. And Nicole, I'm going to get to your soulmate question next. So we're doing Carol now. So let's see what the butterflies say. The first thing, just looking around your family relationships, I think this new moon energy might be a great opportunity for some reconciliation. That being said, I feel, Carol, that you take on a big role as being somebody who's always fixing things. So just keep in mind that relationships are two-sided. It's not only you and your family members, but it's also them. So what you have to make sure is that you are really being true to yourself. So just keep that in mind as you're proceeding and looking at this idea. But let's see what the what butterfly card comes up for you. Oh my gosh. See, I couldn't make these things up, so I'm so glad that you see me shuffle. So here's the card that came up, relationship dynamics. Now, when I look at this card, I'm looking at the colors. As you can see in this deck, we don't get a lot of information on the card. It's more like a few words and then the card. So what you're doing is looking at, to me, what I look at is the colors. So the first thing I'm seeing in this is the yellow. And this yellow is all about power, being in your power. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, Carol, is really about you standing in your power as this goes on. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be beating your chest and being all kinds of aggressive. What it means is saying how you truly feel. There's a lot of throat chakra right here, sky blue coming up for you. So it's about speaking your truth, saying how you feel, not being afraid to express yourself. This purple to me represents forgiveness. And with this relationship dynamics, I think there's some forgiveness that needs to go on, some empathy. It seems like there's very strong-willed people that would rather be right than rather show their loving side. So this has got to be shifted in order for the reconciliations and the dynamics to be better. There's only so much you can do. So know that there is only so much that you can do. So I leave you with this, and thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, let me see. Okay, can you tell me about my soulmate? So this is Nicole. So let's see what we've got coming up for Nicole. Okay. Now, Nicole, I do see somebody coming in. I feel like you've been really patient with this romance thing. I am feeling somebody come in. I'm not feeling that it's going to come up this summer. And now, wow, with how fast time is going by, it's like the summer is almost over. But I'm definitely feeling that this person is coming in. And I'm seeing a late fall connection. I'm feeling like this is something that's going to happen. And when we talk about time, Nicole, it's always very relative. But I'm seeing a lot of fall colors around this, fall flowers, chrysanthemums, that kind of thing. So this could mean two things. Either you're going to meet somebody then, or there's going to be a soulmate relationship in place by the fall. And let's see. And here's the card that came up, forgiveness. Okay, so now, Nicole, you're probably saying, well, what does that have to do with My soulmate question. Well, just as I noticed in the last card that we pulled, that the wings were spread wide and open to these dynamic shifting, what I'm getting in this card is the wings being closed. So Nicole, what I would ask you is, how open are you to receiving? Often what happens when we're in a situation like this is that we don't realize that if we have issues receiving on the smallest level, then we could be setting our intention out to the universe to be meeting our soulmate, but we've got our everything just closed tight. And with everything being closed tight, it's not allowing that soulmate energy to get in. So what first question I would ask you if you and I were together was, how do you accept a compliment? How do you accept a compliment? That's a big indicator of how you receive. So if you have issues receiving the little things, then the universe most likely can't give you this soulmate. So I feel like there's some forgiveness that has to go on. I feel that there's some of the past that you're bringing into the present. So you've got to release and let that go. And as we're talking about setting intentions with this new moon energy, be a great time for you to do some writing and maybe examine what it is from your past you're bringing it into the present that's keeping you a little bit tied up. I feel like you can be a little hard on yourself. Watch your self-talk. Make sure you're acknowledging that you deserve the very best and you deserve to receive. What I would suggest you do is plan a little special date with yourself. Do something fun with yourself. Maybe a movie you've been wanting to see with your favorite movie snack, and just nurture yourself. As you're opening up to self-care, allowing yourself to realize you're perfect just the way you are, you're going to feel those wings spread and just really have that person come in. But I feel this person, I can see somebody standing outside your auric field, which is telling me it's poised to happen for you. I know you've been patient. I'm feeling just a little bit longer. So thank you so much, Nicole, for tuning in. And okay, so let's see. We have another Nicole. A family member has mentioned possibly helping to build a home for my husband and I. What do you and the angels see about this? Thank you. I'm getting a really positive yes with this, Nicole. I do see it happening. What I'm finding so interesting, and this is usually what will happen as I'm doing these mini readings for people, is we get a trend. The trend I'm seeing here is timing. And I feel like there's so many different things going on, and the timing is just not as we would have it. In other words, we want these things to happen yesterday, and they're moving a little bit slow. I feel like you've been waiting to have this ability to get this home. One thing I'm seeing around this is make sure that everybody is on the same page. And I'm seeing paperwork around this. So even though this is a family member, I think that it's important that everybody, like legal documents, so to speak. In other words, everybody needs to know what the other person's expectations are. So I'm getting a strong all systems are go to make this happen, but I'm definitely feeling that even though it's somebody that you love and trust, that it's important that you have put pen to paper. Again, set that intention now that you're going to see strides towards this today, tomorrow. Write it out that you're going to see this coming, and you'll see something very positive in 28 days in this. But that is the one thing that I'm seeing, is that make sure that you get this in writing, that everybody's understanding everything. It's one of the things, like I said, I think is important whenever we're dealing with family members, just to be sure that there's no disagreements on, well, you said this and we said that. Just make sure you get everything in writing. Okay, and so let's see what butterfly comes in for you. Okay. And here's the butterfly. You are stronger than you know. Now again, in these wings, and this is what's so interesting when you're looking at these decks, this deck rather, these wings are slightly open. So again, this is showing me this is all about you getting ready to receive. So this is telling me that yes, it's going to happen. You're stronger than you think. I think this speaks to the doubts that you have. I think you get very strong signs and intuitive hits about things that are going to happen, but then you second guess it. So this is telling you you're stronger than you think. You're getting the information. Now, this color always speaks to me of passion. So I think this home is something you feel passionate about, and it's wide open. So this is really wishes fulfilled. Green about healing around the situation, and the yellow about power. So this is a passionate time for you. Feel comfortable being in your power. Maybe it makes you a little bit uncomfortable to think about putting things in writing, but this is really something that is important as you proceed. So speaking your truth, and again, we see how this is coming up for you out there listening, speaking your truth and allowing yourself to be heard and knowing that everything's going to work out. Don't feel that just because you ask for specific things, it's not going to work out. So congratulations on that new home. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so let's just see. I'm going to scroll a little bit more to the beginning here. Okay, and hello to Vicky. Hey, Pat, welcome. Okay, Cindy, so let's just see. We're going to just do a general reading for Cindy, who's joining us today. So let's just see what comes up for Cindy. And again, when we talk about getting used to all of this energy that's going on and some of the things that you can do, regardless of what the weather's like in your area, and even though, again, a new moon is not visible in the sky. If it's visible at all, it might look like a very thin, like a fingernail. That energy is still really impacting you. I really believe new moon, full moon, get outside. So if it's at all possible for you to get outside and set that intention, again, remember Archangel Raphael reminding us to breathe. Take a deep breath, get that oxygen in, set that intention, and let that new moon energy just imbibe every cell with this endless possibility of all of the things that you can create in the next 28 days. And like I said, I know that's not a lot, but hey, it can be a great beginning. So keep that in mind. So Cindy, let's see what card comes up for you. Ah, perfect. Take the next step now. And now we see wings are wide open. We've got the purple flowers. Now we've got this as being more of a lavender color. So lavender always speaks to me again of calmness, peacefulness. So I really feel that you're at a place right now with so much of what it is that you should be doing to move forward. You really know what it is, but for some reason you're hesitating. So this card is encouraging you, and what a perfect card to pull today with this new moon energy. This card is encouraging you to take the next step, to move forward. The yellow is all about you being in your power. I love this faded in the background because what that symbolizes to me is a bit of procrastination on your part. So just know that this is so much about you being able to really take that step and have the confidence in doing it. This is where that yellow's coming in. And with those wings being wide open, you're ready to receive, you're ready to move forward. So take that next step, do some journaling, as I said, Cindy, and take that next step now. So I'm going to do a little reading for Pat. We're just going to see what butterfly comes up for her today. And again, like I said, when I do these are mini readings. If it's something that you would like more detail on, or you'd like a more detailed reading, if you visit my website, SusanDintino.com, and you go to the services page, you'll see all the different readings that I offer. And I do email readings, I do phone readings, and I do video readings. And those are becoming very popular because that way it's almost as if we're together. I haven't been doing too many in-person readings primarily because of the way I travel. But with a video reading, that will get as close as you can. So if you're getting just a touch and would like more, please feel free to reach out and book a reading that's going to give you a little bit more detail. So let's see what butterfly comes up for you, Pat. And the butterfly that comes up for you, Pat, is family changes. Okay, so we've got two beautiful butterflies here, and we see these wonderful carnations. Carnations are all about love. They're all about reclaiming your personal love for yourself. So what I find interesting is we've got the two butterflies, and the one butterfly wings are wide open and really letting you know that everything is okay. You know, that this butterfly is doing fine and everything is wonderful. This butterfly, I feel, represents you. And again, sitting on these pinkish flowers, speaking to you about self-love. I'm also feeling the green in this card is indicating the healing that's going on. So this shows that you're open to the healing and you're open to listening to what this other butterfly might be having to say. So what I would suggest you do is keep your eyes open for any messages that you might be getting. And I'm feeling a strong butterfly connection. So if you're seeing a butterfly, know that that is representing the idea that everything is okay, that the person reaching out to you is doing fine, and that you are definitely being protected. Love surrounds you. Love surrounds you in all ways. And again, the green indicates the healing. So thank you, Pat, so much for tuning in. So yeah, so we get into all of this and just kind of, you know, ask ourselves, okay, what do these cards mean? How can I look at this in relation to the energy that we've got going on now? Well, when we're talking about new moon energy, we know that when we have a new moon, because the moon does not emit its own light, it's all based on the sun. So the sun represents light, the new moon, or in this case, obviously, because there's such little light visible, the moon in this case represents the darkness, okay? And darkness not in a negative way, but darkness more representing our shadow side. So because we might be feeling a little closed off, and yet again, supercharged by this Mars energy, just realize that some of the things that might be going on right now might be bringing out your shadow side. They're part of ourselves that we kind of wish would just kind of disappear. But it's really important that we recognize that aspect of ourselves that isn't always positive, that might have some negative issues. And when we accept that part of ourselves that we don't perceive to be perfect, it's a huge step in self-love. Bringing that shadow side and making peace with it. Debbie Ford, we lost her way too soon, wrote an amazing book about our shadow side and how to deal with it. And I always bring her up and can never remember the title of the book, but it's Debbie Ford. So just know that as you're feeling and dealing with this energy that's coming in, there might be some unbidden negative connotations to some of the things that you're dealing with in life, to some of the people in your life. So it's inviting you to take a step back, and if you have buttons that are being pushed, ask yourself what those buttons are. Why do those come up for you? What is the meaning? And I know I keep emphasizing this, but I really feel very much that the huge takeaway from this broadcast is to do some writing, do some journaling, get those feelings on paper. So let's see. Vicky wants to know, will I sell my home this year and move to Colorado? Okay, Vicky, I'm getting a yes with this. I'm feeling like a 2017-2018 connection. So what I'm going to say is it is going to be happening. The only thing I'm not sure about is this year. And I feel that if it is this year, it's going to be later this year. It's like you're going to be really setting all of your intentions, getting all your groundwork in place. But I really feel that it's going to take a bit of time before it happens. And again, because I know sometimes I can feel the energy when I give those kind of readings, people rolling their eyes saying I've been patient long enough. But so much of it has to do with timing. And it can also be that it will happen sooner. So when we get time frames, it's often on the far end. But I don't know. The thing that kind of stuck out to me, and this was this year, I feel it might be closer to 2018. So let's see what we've got for you. Ah, there you go. Welcome the new. And look at this butterfly. Wings are wide open. We've got white. White to me always represents divinity, represents spirituality. Vicky, I feel this move for you is very much tied into your own spirituality. I was watching a broadcast about this shift from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, and one of the things that was mentioned was that so many people are moving to places they feel more compatible, and it's usually big moves, moving from state to state. So this is definitely what I see around you, and we've got those wings wide open. And again, what I'm really seeing around this with this purple color has so much to do with the upper chakras, the third eye, the crown. Really from here on in, as this newness is coming in on all levels, Vicky, really pay attention to your own intuitive insights. The receiving with these wings wide open is telling me that you are poised to have all the good come in. So really focus on the fact that you're going to get the assistance you need from your divine helpers. So pay attention. This third eye center of our intuitive abilities and the crown. And I always say one of the biggest leaps is going from the third eye to the crown. And what I mean by that is the third eye gets us the information. Then it's up to us whether or not we're going to act on it. So I think that there's things that are going to be coming up for you that's going to help this to be easier, but I feel they're going to be coming in an intuitive way. So what I'm hearing is trust your gut. As you make this move, get ready to sell, trust your gut on what's happening. Strong hit though, it's definitely going to happen. So thank you, Vicky, for tuning in. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, Sheila, I'm going to a viewing party. May I have a reading? I'm having some issues right now and wondering what will happen with my marriage, as well as I'm wondering if I will be going to Spain in September now. Okay, so not exactly sure, Sheila, what you're referring to as far as a viewing party goes. I do see travel coming up for you, and with this travel I'm also getting that it's going to be very enlightening is the word that I'm getting for you. And the reason I feel this is the case is because I think as you remove yourself geographically, I feel that what's going to be happening for you is it's going to give you perspective on your marriage. It's almost like right now looking at you, it's almost like you're very closed and kind of like, it's like too many people talking at you. That might be better than saying close. I just see a lot of, I always get this whole magpie image of people chattering at you. And I think there's so much going on around you that's kind of making you feel like this, that you're not able to get a clear idea of exactly where your marriage is. I feel perspective is going to be gained by you traveling. So I'm getting a yes with your trip. And I am getting, like I say, a yes with that, and I think that's definitely going to give you the perspective that you need as you're exploring your marriage and what's coming up with that. So let's see, Sheila, what butterfly comes in for you. One thing I want to mention, Sheila, is I'm looking at your aura. I think this is why I'm feeling like you're very cramped. Really do some practice. Your auric field should always be 3 feet around you, egg-shaped. Make sure that if you're feeling really cramped like that, just take some time to just push that boundary out. I think you're in self-protection mode, but it would really be beneficial to how you feel energetically to push that aura out. So again, the aura is our energetic boundary. It's what protects us from the energies outside in our physical body. So there's all different theories. I'm giving you my theory about the way the aura works. So when we get done here, just put it out and you can actually kind of feel it. You know, I always feel a little pressure. You want to have it be out a little bit farther, and do some breath work, Sheila. I really feel you're holding your breath a lot. So do some breath work, and let's see, Spain's going to be great for you. Okay, you are stronger than you know. So again, we pulled this card, and we pulled it again. As you could see, it was a random pull. I think this is speaking to the whole idea that you will be comfortable traveling like this. Again, we see the passion. And again, just like I was noting, this butterfly's wings are slightly open. So you're ready to receive, but you're not fully ready. I think working with your auric field a little bit, realizing your power. And this to me, Flower, unlike the other time I was reading it, I feel like for you, this represents your marriage. I think there was a very strong passion there. And I think one of the concerns you have is the passion doesn't seem to be as intense as it was. And this is causing you to have doubts about things that are going on. So what's going to really assist you in this is getting away from the situation. Even if you're going to be traveling with your spouse, I still think being in a new environment is really going to assist you in getting a better perspective. But keep that in mind. And again, this whole idea of these people that might be talking at you, know that your opinion is valuable. Know that you are strong in your own energy. Give yourself permission to express your feelings. You know, my jewelry, I'm always so guided what to wear. And, you know, I've got the smoky quartz, you know, which is highly protective, and this beautiful turquoise, which is sitting pretty much on my throat chakra. It always helps me when I'm doing these readings. So just keep that in mind. You know that speaking your truth is okay. It's okay for you to be in your power and let people know how you feel. I think these questions that you have are not only dealing with a relationship, but I think they're also dealing with the relationship you have really with yourself. I see a big coming out party for you, Sheila. So I leave this with you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so let's see who else we have here. Sheila's saying she loves the Macarena. Okay, hey Sherry, nice to have you here. Okay, and Sheila's saying she's going to carry her malachite. Oh, Lori, you're welcome. It's my... Oh, Sharon, thank you for the compliment. And Lori, thank you. Okay, Sheila, I answered your question. Hey, Carol from Saskatchewan. Okay, we talked to Nicole. We talked to Carol. We talked actually to both Nicoles. Okay, Trina. Okay, career stuff would be great. Okay, Trina, let's see. First thing I'm seeing around you, and again, as we're talking about all of this and seeing where all of this is leading, the thing that I'm seeing around you, and I know, okay, is timing. So know that you are tuning in at this time and really hearing this new moon broadcast, because this is so much about you setting an intention. What I see around you is a little bit of harsh conversation when it comes to yourself. So watch your self-talk. You're very suited to move forward in your career. You have many more talents than you give yourself credit for. So when you're doing your journaling in this new moon energy, which I know you're going to do, and creating your 28-day intention, put something in there that really is attainable and that will assist you in your career, that you can really say, hey, I did it in 28 days. So I am seeing a lot of like stars around you, and stars to me represent creativity. I'm also seeing orange in your auric field, which is another signal to me that there's something creative that you really need to focus on. So whether this creative stuff is going to work out with you in your career, I think I'm almost feeling more of a hobby kind of thing, that it's going to open you up a little bit and really allow these things to get downloaded that you've been concerned about. Almost, Trina, that you need to play a little bit. That would be the best way to put it. You know, maybe these stars are also representing our little fairies we were talking about earlier, and that twinkle going on. But let's see what the cards have to say. And here's volunteer. And again, we're seeing the wings slightly opened, certainly open more than the last card, volunteer. Okay, you're asking Trina about your career. What is volunteer? This is exactly what I'm seeing. I feel like you've got such strong focus on what you could be doing, that it's stifling everything else out. This volunteer, I think, not only can be taken literally, where maybe you might be interested in volunteering in some way in your community, I also feel it's like volunteering for yourself. And what I'm getting around this is it's volunteering to take some time to play. I feel like you've been really like burning the candle on both ends and putting a ton of pressure on yourself. Whether this is physical or emotional, one way or the other, I'm seeing this pressure. So just keep that in mind. Know that you're moving forward. And often what I find is so many of us feel like we're not doing enough. And I think it has to do with past lives. And I think in past lives we were of service. We really, we're doing so many things for the benefit of others. And so many of us that are here now, and Trina, I feel this is you, really feel this pull to be doing all this service, and we feel like we're never doing enough. And you are doing enough. And I feel like I said, with this volunteer, this is about you playing. This is about you acknowledging that part of yourself that really needs to just have fun. So thank you. Okay, PJ, let's get you in. I've got a few more minutes here. And again, talking about career. Interesting, because I'm feeling, PJ, similar energy around you as I saw around Trina. I think that you're moving in the right direction. It's interesting because what I'm getting with you is a fence, and I see your feet on two sides of the fence. So I think that there's a decision that you're trying to make regarding what your next step should be and what is it that you should be doing. And what I want to remind you is the importance of doing something that you really love, something that you really enjoy doing. I feel like what's going on here is that there's a part of you that looks at the financial gain and a part of you looking at what it is that you love to do. So when you're making this decision, make sure that you're doing, as Wayne Dyer always used to say, doing what makes your heart sing. It's very important to you. And I just even love your name, and it just is such a light name. And just kind of, again, I'm going to say the same thing to you. Remember to play. Remember to integrate that as you're moving into this transformational time in your life. I feel so many of you that are tuning in are really going through transitions. That's why I feel this 28-day intention setting can't be emphasized enough. If you take nothing away other than that from this broadcast, I will consider my job to be done, because all of my guides and angels are telling me, make sure you emphasize the writing and the 28-day intention. So let's see what butterfly comes in for you. So family changes. So wow. And again, you can see me shuffling away. So what I feel this has to do with you, I'm feeling more, PJ, that this is more abstract, not quite like what I got with the last reading I did with this card. What I think is it really does speak to me about the two decisions and the way you're divided between what it is that you have to do. Again, we see this pink talking about self-love, the fuchsia color down here talking about the passion. So this, speaking to your question, could very much be about family members, respected members of your friends, are maybe trying to influence you as to what it is that you should do. But as you're moving forward, keep in mind that family can be, your co-workers, family can be strictly defined. This is so much about you sitting right here and what it is that you would like to do. What do you feel passionate about? And here I'm really noticing too with you this strong white color, which is very much speaking to your spiritual side. So I feel like a big part of your question is, what is my life purpose? What am I here to do? And this is so much about you holding the light. How can you hold the light? The very best way you can is by being happy. When we're happy, when we're joyful, we send out a vibration that emanates with us and from us, that influences people we can't even imagine. It's just like something as simple as a smile will impact so many people. So just know that you're going to be paying attention to these things that you're hearing, but you are making a difference in what it is that you're doing. Be passionate about whatever career choice you make. PJ, I leave that with you. Thank you so much. Let's see what the time is here. Oh, good, Carol. I'm glad you found it accurate. Okay, Sharon, I'm going to stop with you. I retired in December from my job in a nursing home. Can you please tell me what other career path I should take? Okay, it's interesting, Sharon, because the first thing that popped into my mind based on your question is healing. And again, obviously you were doing that type of work in the nursing home, but I am seeing something around you more in regards to energy healing. So if you haven't pursued anything like Reiki, like IET, reconnective healing, I think you'd really find, and you know what just popped in is aromatherapy that just came in. I feel like there's something in a healing modality that you're going to explore, that you're going to become very, very passionate about. And now this aromatherapy is coming in more and more. So I see you working with essential oils. I see you really investigating all of these things. And Sharon, what I'm also seeing around you is some writing. So I'm feeling like as you get more versed in this, you're going to be starting to do a blog and tell other people about it. Because not only do you have this healing energy, you also have a very strong teaching energy around you. So first I would say enjoy the process. I would really recommend, based on what I'm getting for you, that you look into essential oils, see if it appeals to you, the idea of learning more, and then do so. And what I'm hearing is have fun in the process. For you, this is so much about you having fun with whatever it is that you choose. It's important that you enjoy it. Again, this theme that keeps coming up today is to be in your passion, love what you do, and just know that as your heart chakra expands, that's the beautiful part of the flower that I recommended earlier, the gladiolus, so tied into the heart chakra. Again, this beautiful sacred heart here. As that emerald green expands and you feel content in what you do, you're expanding your energy. So let's just see what we get for you. End of an era. Oh, this is just a great card for you. So now what this is saying, Sharon, is that you have finished, and you know, the red to me represents feeling safe and feeling abundant. So I feel like that position for you was a safe position. It took care of you financially, and now you want to do something that's just fun and enjoyable. This is where these essential oils are coming in. So a strong hit for you that it's endings and beginnings. I would suggest numerology would really help you right now to see where you are in your years from 1 to 9. What is this year for you? For all of us, it's a number 1 year. 2017 comes down to 1, which is a beginning year. So that, you know, designates new beginnings for all of us. But I think in particular for you, it would be helpful to see where you are in this process. But one ending always issues in a beginning, and that's what you're doing. This card also is letting you know you're going to be safe in that beginning. We've got the strong white here. Again, spiritual, divine, stepping into something that's going to bring you a great deal of joy, and the yellow indicating power. So end of an era, starting something new, and we couldn't ask for more than that as we're talking about new moon energy. So I am going to close first of all with thanking all of you for tuning in. Again, my name is SusanDintino, Hay House author, reader, teacher. Visit my website, like me on Facebook. I will be back quite a bit in the next month because we'll be talking about these eclipses and how they're impacting us. So I will definitely be back in. Tune into this week's radio show where I am going to have Melissa Virtue as my guest, and we're going to be talking about dreams. And that's the night shift with SusanDintino. It's on 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays on W4CY Radio. So I'm sure she's going to be doing some dream interpretation. So you want to make sure that you check that out. So malachite is the crystal that I recommended. Cypress is the essence. I just talked about the flower, and also just keeping in mind Archangel Raphael, who's going to be reminding us to breathe. Thank you again for taking the time to spend this hour with me. And for those of you that I didn't get to, really let me know that I tuned in and I asked, and I'll make sure that I get you in the next time. So thank you so much, everybody. You have a great day, and bask in this energy. It's going to really be something. Bye-bye now.